Hi, I'm Leathur Rokk. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my kitchen again. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing all this much cooking for my live streams, but then again, I didn't know that my cell phone was going to be doing some weird things. And now it's supposedly, if the battery's going to overheat, it won't let me film more than 10 minutes. So, and we know that when you're live streaming, obviously a cooking video is going to be a lot more than 10 minutes. So let's see what this happens here. I want to try and find out what difference is between a New York strip steak and a club steak. And the only way you usually get to find out is if actually you have them side by side. And I do. I have right here a package of 3 club steaks, and they're much thinner. That means you gotta watch on the cooking time. You could end up with shoe leather, and none of us want that. Especially if you make the mistake that I did some years ago in Hollywood, where I was a well-done steak girl, and that's what I got. Now the first thing I'm going to try cooking is a New York strip steak. I'm gonna handle it with this hand here. Looks like this, thick like this. Luke 3 the Revenge. Hey, how you doing? You get first comment. We get this steak here. I'll note the thickness of this. Okay, I'm looking at about maybe a third of an inch, maybe a half inch, something like that. But club steak seems to be much thinner. See, this is like a quarter inch, something like that. Yeah. So, and when I was thawing them out, I thought they were pork chops because, I wasn't reading. And Amanda, hello. Putting some oil in the pan, but now I guess it would help if I oriented the camera, right? Of course, I got blood on my left hand. Okay, can you guys see that? Good. Yeah. I am now, instead of the wok that I had before, I'm using a skillet because I want enough surface area to get contact with the oil here. One other thing, since this is a condemned building and the floors are all sloped and stuff, the stove is actually built up so it doesn't shift too much this way, but it still does anyway, and it's really unnerving because when you're cooking, one side is always more submerged than the other. It would be so nice to live in a house where everything is level again. I'm gonna add some more oil. The thing is, you end up having to use more oil because there's always a part that seems to be exposed. Now, I'm going to try to get this away from the fire here. And I'm going to turn the fire on. I'm going to do it low. Now, this is where I should have done some pre-seasoning. But plain old salt. So I got salt on both sides. And I'm going to put this here. Then I'm going to take, because I'm cooking for my mom and myself, so we're going to cook both. So we got the New York strip steak in. Then I'm going to take this. Get both sides there. I'm going to cook 2 of these New York strips. What we're going to do is I'm going to cook 2 of these club steaks. She and I will each have a club steak, and then I will take the New York strip steak and I'll kind of cut that in half. And that's how we'll do that. Well, one advantage, I think, a skillet has over a grill any day is all the juices that come off of the meat when it's cooking. They drip and they fall into the fire and they get lost. You get all the juicy goodness of the drippings that you can always freeze later to add to soup, add to ramen noodles, top on top of potatoes, put on top of rice. I'm going to wash my hands now. In my still clean sink. I really cleaned the sink good. When I knew I was going to do that video yesterday, I'm thinking I had a sink full of dishes. I'm convinced they must reproduce if they're not tended to right away, you know. And the thing is, I can only wash a few at a time. I put them in my mom's room. I let them dry real well. And when they're dry, then I put them back. And I realize this kitchen's never going to look great because one of the cabinet facings fell down. So some of the stuff in the shelves are always going to be exposed. Now, I love to dry my hands on something. Shouldn't be cleaning laundry of my mom's that I did, but you know what? Don't sue me. And I'm thirsty right now. I want some tea. This seems a bit watered down because I've actually added more water to it, but this is a big pot of tea. I'd offer my mom some, but she's asleep. And since the food isn't done now, I think it's just as well that I let her sleep. Oh, here's my kitty spoon again. I have a black one that's still packed up. This is usually what I use for my honey or sugar or whatever. Let's take a look at what this pig's doing. Okay, got this. I almost hate to disturb them. They've got that wonderful blood pooling on them, and you saw the previous video. You know I love that tasty blood from any meat. This is smelling good. No seasoning on this yet, except for just plain old salt. Oh, that blood pouring off of that steak. Yes, it's smelling very good, you know. And I've got another steak here, so if my doorbell rings, you know, somebody's gonna eat good. But I also keep Wawa sandwiches in the freezer and different things. When my food sources are passing out extra food, I always bring extra here because even though the churches have been moved out for over a month or two now, there's still hungry people that show up when no other places are closed. You know. I could have fed somebody yesterday, tried to come over, but was very, very rude, and I did not let them in. You know, some of these guys around here, no, I don't care how long you know somebody, it doesn't give you an excuse to be rude. I'm going to go ahead and flip the little steak. These are so thin. It's so easy to overdo them. Oh, I just splashed myself with grease. Normally I don't squash them down because you squish the grease out of them. The juices, I mean. But when they curl up, you want to make sure that both sides get done. Some people actually use heavy things like bricks. You can take a brick and you can cover it with foil, and you can use that as a weight. You could also use something heavy like, I have that water main from San Francisco. It says San Francisco Water Company on it. I could always use that. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and turn the other one, because you can always turn them again. There's no rule that says you can't turn something more than once. Okay, now I'm going to watch this grease. Oh! Splash. I wish you guys could smell this. Oh, some more tasty blood. Oh, wait. Like I did yesterday, I'm going to put a little tiny bit of water in this. Pour it. Oh, if you're curious, just before I throw this out, this is pertaining to the New York strip steak. That was 0.52 pounds. It was a half a pound steak. And, yeah. Smelling good. Now I'm thinking, now I could probably start throwing some things on here. You know what I'm thinking of doing? Last week I made a sauce using Concord grape jelly and soy sauce. I did this. I'm going to thin it out with a little bit of water. Then see, that's the thing, is there's not a lot of room here. I will stick this back here. Now, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the fridge. You know, what nobody else knows, I still have pasta from yesterday, and I still have a little bit of that shrimp scampi. I don't know if I'm going to reheat it now, but this is what the sauce, I refrigerated that. I love these takeout containers. They really make great containers for putting things back in the fridge, you know. These are the Wawa sandwiches that I make for my friends. I can't eat them, any of them, because they put cheese in all of them. But the thing is that in a future video, I'm going to talk about the problem with the toaster oven, that it's a little bit non-operational at the moment. Because I think I broke it the last time I was using it to heat up food for some of my friends here. You know, I have to sometimes turn the skillet around. Gotta protect my hand first. Because depending on whether everything is submerged in the oil, sometimes one feels like it's cooked more than the other, and that shouldn't make any difference considering that I put them all on at the same time, right? Fat cook. I mean, fat, yeah. Blood cook. I should probably take the little ones out soon. See how this one, they were both the same size, these club steaks, and you see how this one is smaller, it's shrunk more, it seems like it's better done. Whoa, the spitting on this. Gonna turn it around again, just for the heck of it. Very careful, I'm gonna turn it on this. Whoa. Yeah, see how I'm keeping my face away from that? Whoa. Okay, I've set these aside here. Now, oh! Damn, I got a splash right here. Okay, you guys, oh. Okay, I'm going to turn this down. Ooh, that's the one thing about frying, is it's spinning. Whoa, I think I'm going to stay on this side. Oh, you guys. Oh. I wish I could I still had that splatter shield. I'm telling you, that's the one thing that I don't, I'm going to turn the fire off. I'm going to let the heat from this cast iron go ahead and just keep that, that'll keep cooking for a good 5 or 10 minutes like it is. Now this, like I promised you. Ooh, now the chicken blood, yeah, it's good to take that off the skillet just like you do with your onions and your garlic. You never let that stick when it's sticking and it's burning, if you even think it's getting close to burning. Oh boy. Now, I'm gonna put the fire on this on low. And you know what, I'm gonna add more water to this here. I'm gonna cover this so that if there's anything flying around, nothing gets on that. Oh boy. Boy, I'm telling you, when you get splashed in your face, that's not a fun thing, But now I would like to prepare my tea. I've got a lime here. Put in some honey. Now you see I have a good amount of oil left from those steaks. I have an idea for what to do with that. Oh, I'm going to keep the camera here. I'm going to get something from the stairs. Look at this. That wonderful sauce from before. I'm going to let that cool. Okay, so there's no active fires going on. I have some, I think these are red bliss potatoes, or they might be russets. I don't know. But they're thin-skinned. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up some. I've got a scrubbing brush thing we've had for a while. And yes, I do soap and water wash it regularly. But I'm going to scrub some potatoes. I'm not going to peel them because there are a lot of vitamins in peels. In my nice clean sink. If you've seen how bad it was before, oh man. Okay, what do you expect when you have a bunch of dishes and stuff? And my friends come over and I'm making all these extra plates, My mom's hungry and I'm making a plate. See, isn't this a beautiful color? And potatoes like this are good because all the different antioxidants, the colors that we see are a clue that all the vitamins and minerals are in these fruits and vegetables, and they say you should eat the rainbow. So I'm trying to clean up my diet. I'm trying to make up for all the junk that I've been eating. Then again, nobody put a gun to my head and said, Leathur Rokk, you gotta eat that pie, you gotta eat that cake, you gotta eat those cookies. No, I did it to myself. And I paid the price, I need that I can slice a bunch of potatoes in. You know what? I should do the right thing and do the cutting board jazz, because I don't want to be having anybody emulate any of my techniques when I'm doing something and have them hurt themselves. Here's my knife. Some of our other knives are in the kitchen. Are packed up already. Alright, let me adjust this. There. Oh man. Okay. These are in pretty good condition too. Usually when you get packaged potatoes, unless you can really look good in the plastic, you don't always know if you're getting a good batch. And don't you hate it when you get a bag of potatoes and a bunch of them are all rotten? Then you could go to those places where you can actually bag your own, and I think it costs more than when you get them already packaged. It depends on where you're getting your stuff, And my food sources are all over. I can think of the places where I used to shop for groceries through the years and the other food sources a person can have. And it's all different, all different price points. But all that oil I don't want to let go to waste. Well, I haven't really been letting it go to waste. I've been saving. Especially if you have something that's cooked in a real tasty meat. That's flavored. Or if you fry peppers and onions, or if you fry mushrooms, that oil is going to have a good flavor to it. You don't want to cut these too thin, or they could burn on you. Did you say something like that's how the potato chip was born? If any of you also love potato chips, that's one of my weaknesses. Never get that right. See, a lot of these things you think are going to be a bad spot, they're really not. I don't know if I'm going to need to cut one more. I'm going to do a time-saving step. Not bad. See, all these things that look bad, they're just like scabs from a blemish. You should be able to smell a lot of steak. Oh, wait, you can't. Damn. you're going to do this, get a cutting board. Don't hurt yourself. So much of the things that people do on camera is just to, there's things that are easier to get in a frame. And everybody has, damn it. All right, you mice gonna eat the food? You know they do. There, one more. And we're done. Got a bunch of potatoes. Put this back to here. Now that sauce is saved. Now this is what I need another pan somewhere. And I'm thinking, what the heck are we gonna do? Unless I got something in her room. Hold on. I was thinking maybe something would be in my mother's bedroom, pots and pans wise. Pots and pans. Pots and pans. I think. Oh! You want to see stupid. I want you to see stupid. Over here. Now what do you see hanging up on the wall over there? See up there? And this is exactly what I wanted. Oh, and you're wondering why that shirt's there? That's my mom's shirt. I wash it, you know, I do the housework around here. And if I don't wash things by hand, for the most part, they don't get done. So, this is my mom's. And I'm going to hang it back in her room. Hold that thought. Okay, now I am going to take this back. And and there's a lot more canned goods down here now because I took them from way up there to down here to make it easier for me to get things for my mom that she wants. And I'm doing that now because then I can put that step stool back in my room for my turnaround for my home set. So, okay, I'm going to take some water. Put it on the stove. Here, I'm not using these back burners because the mice live here and I don't want to hurt them. So, and I'm going to wait for the water to boil. And, I could throw a little salt in there, but I'm not gonna, because if I'm gonna add salt to the finished product, I don't want to be adding salt and adding salt and adding salt. But there's one thing I will add, and this will infuse the water. Try throwing in some red pepper. That's enough, because it'll actually get in the air. Some people that are a bit sensitive, they may even start sneezing. Now, if you want to really kick it up a notch, throw in some black pepper. Now, let's see when that boils. And once it boils, then we're going to turn it down a little bit. And then we're going to add these potato slices in the water. You're not going to boil this for a long time. You just want to soften these up. And you know what? I think I'm going to transfer this to this pan here. You had these steaks. You could see, now you could really see the difference in size between these club steaks and this New York strip steak. And you know, this seemed to me like a very small New York strip steak. I always imagine a New York strip as being like, you know, like this. Here, I'm going to get in the camera frame. New York strip should be like, you know, but I guess they are whatever size they are. And considering that meat is sold in per pound prices, they're going to be in whatever price you're willing to pay. So, oh, this is looking so good. Definitely anything that you don't want to burn, I would definitely take off this pan. This is why I love to deglaze pans so much. You take some kind of liquid. Some chefs use wines. I don't touch alcohol anymore, so I really am kind of afraid of it. Even though they say that everything cooks off with the alcohol and everything, but that just makes me feel a little uncomfortable. And if it leaves behind any kind of a taste and I can detect it, you know, it just seems like you're playing with fire, you know. I don't want to be reminded of the tastes of things that I had to give up, or I gave up because I wanted to. I'm going to put a cover on this so that it keeps it a little on the warm side. Maybe wash the grease off my hands so I don't drop anything. Oh, I know. I haven't even gotten to have any of my tea yet. Sorry, I'm messing around with my screen. I'm still not sure what I'm doing. Oh, I went back on that Temu site. I found another one of those 4 terabyte hard drive things. The first one I tried to buy, it was only available for like a day. And the thing all of a sudden left my shopping cart. Let's see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to need more than just a 1 teaspoon. You know what? This might actually be good enough. I was thirsty. And then it cooled off enough. I would have liked 1 more teaspoon, but you know what? That was still good. Now let's see how the water boiling situation's doing here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Take the seal off of this. This is curry powder. There's many different kinds of it. This, I'm just gonna put some in the water. Okay. Now, I don't want to give myself a boiling hot shower over here. So I'm going to be careful doing this. Maybe do handfuls. No splashing. No splashing. No splashing. Okay. Alright, everything's safely in there. And you can definitely tell the texture. Like right now, just like when pasta's still hard potatoes have a certain feel on your, whatever you're using to stir it with. As these soften up, you'll be able to tell. You won't have to take a bunch of taste testing. If I had a large supply of salt, I would salt the water. And then I would save a lot of that starchy salted water you can use in many recipes where you would like something as a thickener. Maybe you don't have a lot of cornstarch and you don't want to use flour. You could use potato water. It was a fast cup of tea. I'm going to have another one because why not, right? Let's see. Oh, and the tea. This was a real cheap bulk 100 count box of tea that I got at a 99-cent store. And yes, you can make a pot of tea from 1 cup. Oh. You know what? I can even add a little bit more water. In a couple hours, this will darken. You know, because these are fairly thinly sliced, I'm going to be careful stirring them because I'm trying not to break them apart. Because if they're too soft, when I do the sauteing or the frying or whatever, they'll just gum up and you'll just end up with like almost like cornmeal mush kind of thing. And plus the starch will coat the frying pan and it'll be. And then you have to really be careful to keep on scraping it so things don't burn on the bottom. Another reason why I like to shake something, a turmeric-based powder like a curry powder or just straight turmeric, is it will color the water a slight yellow tinge and you will end up with whatever you're cooking in it will have that little yellow hue. I think that makes what you're cooking look more attractive. Like even from far away on the screen you can see the yellow. I never understood people who peeled their potatoes. You're losing so much of your vitamins that way. Well, one time I was at an old friend's house and she was cooking collard greens. And she actually took the stems and the tougher parts of the leaves and she put them in her trash compactor. And I'm thinking that is such a nutritious part of the plant and you're just throwing it out. And you know what? I didn't say anything because I didn't want to seem low class. And I didn't want to seem like I was telling her how to run her own kitchen. There was a lot of things between us that I was kind of a little cautious and walking on eggshells. Sometimes you don't want to offend people when you're raised in a different cultural thing. And there are certain things that you don't know are actually lines you shouldn't step across, and you wouldn't know because that's not in your culture. So I kind of just ate a whole lot of cups of shut up. And I just censored myself. Hmm. Mmm. Smell the lime. When I think these are used up, I use these on my face. It's a natural exfoliant, acid exfoliant. It also can be used to work on bleaching freckles off and stuff. Is this in the frame? When everything's ready, my mom's asking me if there's any tea. That will be better for me to serve her anyway because it's much lower in caffeine. And when you're drinking caffeine beverages later at night, you probably don't want that much caffeine. Okay, while I'm cooking this, I think I should slice an onion. Okay, time for me to find an onion that's not rotten. New thing of onions. Oh, you know that if you have mice, you can actually leave onions out, and mice have an aversion to onions and garlic. So you could set them out, and matter of fact, you can put things, if you don't have room, say, in your refrigerator, and certain things, of course, you should be refrigerated, put them near onions, and mice can't touch them. I've got an onion. And I've got a knife. Now you gotta watch these onions. You can't assume that they don't have some partially rotten parts. So those people who use those fast chopping machines where you stick an onion in and it chops everything, that only works if you know it doesn't have any rotten parts. So that's why cutting things manually is still, I think, a good idea. You imagine ruining a recipe with something that was rotten, that was already dispersed. See, you cut it and you find out this very center part has something bad in it. So, and I can take that out. I just lift it out. Lift it. Lift it, lift it. Oh, lift it. Right. Lift it, lift it, lift it. There. Now everything else. Whoa. I'm going to do a quick chop of this. A real rough chop, actually kind of more like some slices. I'm going to make guidelines. Very carefully, because if this slices, it can easily cut fingers off. So, like I said, you really should use a cutting board for this. I'm going to, you can't, oh, I have to be careful touching this because part of it has gotten heated by the thing. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm cutting onion pieces into here. Just make sure your thumb is not in the way of where the knife is going, and you'll be fine. Okay. There. Now, just have to do the other side. Oh, is anybody, if there's any magical people watching me, anybody ever tried burning dry onion peels, and has it increased your prosperity? That is a tech that I have heard about. See, all this is rotten. Oh, oh, don't do that. Pieces like this, you know, you can just break them. Let's test the potatoes. Okay. Yeah, they're starting to break up. Oh. Okay, now I want you to see what I'm about to do here. Oh, actually, wait. First, I'm going to transfer all these onions to this, okay? That's what I'm going to do. Putting the fire on, putting the onions on. Now you see where we're getting. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to start transferring these potatoes to this, and hopefully not spill any more. The mice get enough food around. Definitely try not to let these onions burn. And always, this is why I like a rubber or a silicone or wood. I really love wood. It enables you to get all the burning on bits, loosen them up so they don't actually burn. Get this right here. Now's a good time to throw in some powdered seasoning. This says parsley flakes. And this says Italian seasoning. And Italian seasoning is usually oregano, basil. Let's see, what does this actually say? Marjoram, oregano, thyme, rosemary. You know what? I can't even read. And I better turn this down. I don't want this burning. Matter of fact, I'm turning the fire off of this for a second. I'm going to go run and get reading glasses so I can see what that means. Okay, why they have to make the small print on these labels so infinitesimally ridiculous. I have to go looking like an old person just to... Oh, and these were 69 cents, by the way. The dollar store was going out of business. And okay, now this contains marjoram, oregano, thyme, rosemary, savory, basil, and sage. Oh, okay. This is good stuff then. If you ever get something that they call pizza seasoning, get that too. It has things like this, and it has garlic chips in it, and ooh, garlic chips. Doesn't that sound like a plan? Let's see. Garlic chips. Oh, I'm throwing in a little touch of ground coriander. Just because I think it's quite wonderful. There should be some in that curry powder that I boiled the potatoes in, just to soften them up, just to save time. I could have skipped the boiling thing and just sauteed the potatoes after the onions were cooked. But the thing is, then you're cooking the potatoes, and you're cooking your potatoes, and you're cooking potatoes, and you know. And my father, his biggest pet peeve was potatoes that weren't done enough. There. Oh boy. Oh yeah. You can do this in bacon drippings. They say there's a lot of cholesterol with that, but the flavor. In my cupboard there, I actually have a jar of flavored bacon drippings that you can actually buy this stuff, and they strain it so it doesn't go bad on the shelf, and it's shelf stable. But most people, like I grew up with, somebody saved your bacon grease in a coffee can or something, saved it in the fridge. Look what I'm doing here. Now this doesn't even have any salt yet. You save a lot of time cooking this if you pre-boil. And this is that same black pepper. And you can brown them to your degree of doneness, but it's not, they're already done. And you know what, since you boiled them and softened them, that might even prevent browning. I don't know, but you don't want to take a chance of it burning. But I am going to, I'm curious to see how they taste. Okay, now see what I'm thinking of doing? This is an Asian-inspired sauce. And, well, I guess I better get another plate. I'm gonna wake my mom up. Yeah, I'm going to turn the fire off on this. Okay, I put a garment of some kind over her so that nobody can complain about her not wearing trousers. You know. It's the summertime and people need to be comfortable in their homes. Oh, boy. I'm definitely going to soak this in. Okay, there's this. Potatoes. And there is this. You know what? I'm going to put this on here to warm up so that she doesn't say, oh, the meat's cold. You know what? Because I'm not a second-class citizen. I'm going to put mine in also. Ooh, it's definitely warm on the bottom. Okay. Beautiful. Right? And I could have cooked a green vegetable too. I should have. You know what? Sue me. Of course, you know, they say eat small meals throughout the day, right? So I'm thinking, you know, there's nothing stopping a person from having vegetable a couple hours later, right? Okay. Mom, you hungry? Mom. Mom. Mom, wake up. Mom.
Yeah.
You ready for dinner or not?
Yeah.
There's no light in here at all.
I know.
Can you get this? Take this in your hand?
Wait.
There is a...
Wait.
Mom, I'm turning this off.
I'm coming. You're doing this down here.
Okay. Alright, you guys can't even see this.
I can't even see it. I don't know.
Well, here, hold this. There's sliced potatoes,
Oh.
and there is that's a club steak.
Oh.
Okay, now what we're going to do is after we each eat a club steak, well, and there's sliced onions too, we are going to share the New York strip steak. I just showed the difference in what they look like, but these are thinner, so these didn't have as long a cooking time. I hope you enjoy that.
Yeah,
I put curry powder in with the water that I boiled the potatoes in first, like I explained my audience. I boiled them parboiled first before frying them in the oil that the steak and onions had been cooked in. So, and I did throw a little bit of red pepper flakes and black pepper also in the water. The only thing I put on the steak was I salted it on both sides, and that's it. Oh yeah, I have sauce. Some of that sauce. Oh, I forgot about this. My mother has, believe it or not, a light on. She has an overhead light, and that's all that comes on. Got this sauce. Do you remember that sauce that I put the chicken on? Do you want any of that on? Smell. Tell me if you want some.
Down a little close.
Yeah. Want me to pour a little bit on? Because that's there.
Thank you.
I wish you guys could see this.
I wish I could see it.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Taking you out of the dark recesses of my mother's room. But now you see, and this is the sauce that I put on there. Now, I'm not going to carry this thing on to the point where you're going to watch me eat, because that would just be boring. But anyway, that is what this video was. The difference between a club steak and New York strip steak, and just a simple meal with sliced potatoes sauteed with onions. And I'm going to eat my share now. Okay, I hope you guys are not hungry. I would feed you if I could. Please be safe wherever you are. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.